everyone, I'm Apostolis from Eurovision Fan, and I'm super excited because today I have with me Sean and Annie. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello. Super nice to
Uh,
see you.
so nice to meet you. And you are TikTok legends when it comes to Eurovision. Of course, everything about your profiles on Instagram, TikTok will be on the description down below, so you guys can check these amazing creators. Uh, they have amazing stuff about Eurovision. Go check them out. And we're here today to discuss about 2024 Eurovision Song Contest. So let's start with song and your favorite entry this year. Not your favorite, like the most listened songs, because there's not gonna be one, of course. So your most played songs on the streaming services.
I would say my most streamed would be Sweden. I think it's super slick. Love the production. It's just, what they always give us at Eurovision. And it's great. Same with Austria. Really like it. I have the rum de dum de dum in my head. Like it's an earworm for sure. Georgia, I really like Georgia this year. I love a powerhouse vocalist, so she's definitely there for me as well. And then, of course, Switzerland is just, for me, cream of the crop. You get like many different genres in one song. It's effortlessly just packaged in one 3-minute in one 3-minute song. And I think it's really good. So yeah, those are my top most listened to.
It's so funny because I knew coming into this conversation, me and Sean will have totally different tastes and opinions, but I still like you. A good teaching for the Eurovision fandom. You can still like each other even though you don't agree. My top 4, let's say at the moment, this year is wild because I feel like there's so many good songs and there's not single one standing out for me. But top 4 would be definitely Italy. I love that. It makes me dance at any time of the day. Lithuania, a little techno moment, obsessed. Ireland was a big surprise for me, but somehow that one just stick with me and I just keep listening to that one. And the 4th one, definitely Greece, my lovely Greek, Rosalia. Yeah, I just love that song.
So nice to hear that. For me, I will have to put Greece aside because, of course, it's one of the most listened songs from this year. So I'm gonna put Italy. Also, agree with you, Annie. Friends, even though it's the first song that we heard this year, somehow the new versions and the live performance, it's keeping up through all these months after the first listening. And surprisingly, I will put on the table Georgia. Georgia is a song that at first I was like, I don't know, but somehow when it pops up on my Spotify, iTunes, it's amazing. Like I can sing along so easily. It's one of my top this year, and I love Nucha so much. She seems a wonderful person to meet. So, do you have any growers like a song that, as Georgia said before, like it's climbing through your top through day by day? Annie?
I would say there's a couple of ballads this year that maybe I wasn't too sold in the beginning. It was more like, okay, skipped, not really standing out to me. But then lately I found myself listening to those 2. So Denmark and Latvia, I would say. Both of them. Yeah, first of all, with Denmark, the chorus is super catchy. The sand part especially. And when I was researching Latvia more for my video, that's like when it started to become an earworm for myself. And then, yeah, I've been listening to that more as well. So I'd say those 2 maybe.
Sean, do you agree?
I love those. I love those. Those are like, from the moment I actually had a lot of like immediacy with those songs, like Latvia and what was the other one that you're talking about? Latvia and Denmark. Yeah. like right when I heard Denmark, I actually like overreacted to Denmark. I was like, this is the best song I've ever heard in my entire life. But I even messaged her on Instagram. I was like, babe, you're winning Eurovision this year. Like you are epic. Yeah, I still like it, but I think I've calmed down a little bit since then. Biggest growers for me would be Netherlands. I listened to it. I was like, this is tacky. This is cheap. And then the more I listened to it, I'm like, this is like, what the heck was I thinking? Like, this is so cool. It's just it's another earworm for sure this year. The music video is just incredible. Finland also, I heard that and I had the same reaction. I was like, ugh, I didn't want him to win. You know, for Finland, I wanted Sara to win. So I was like just mad that he ended up winning. But then, you know, the anger went away and now I'm obsessed with Finland too. And then Georgia, similar to you. I liked it at the beginning, but I think the more I hear it and when I see her perform at these like pre-party events, I'm just like, this woman, I said in her video, like her voice is a weapon of mass destruction. Like she will obliterate on that stage. And I think that final like 20 seconds is just it's like it's incredible. So yeah, those are my growers.
Yes, and also Georgia, for me, I think Nucha is the vocalist of this year contest. Like one of the greatest voices that we have this year, and I think that live she's gonna bring it even more. Like with a full crowd on Malmö Arena, I think this is the time that she will explode in the odds and everything. So for me, I will have to say, surprisingly, the Netherlands. At the beginning, uh, no, it was a big no. Like I had it 20th in my top, like 10th place, something like that. I don't remember. Now it's in my top five. It's a wake up song, like every day in the morning. It's a good to go, good feeling song. And for me personally, this is a potential winner, the Netherlands. He can easily win the televote this year. Do you have like a song, an entry that you think that this is giving winner potential right now at the moment before the rehearsals even started?
I think there's actually many this year. If we start, like, if we talk about my favorites, I think maybe from the not less obvious one, but I mean, if we stop looking at the odds and stuff, I really believe in Italy this year. Just when I've heard that song for the first time, it just got me. I mean, I was a little bit sad that Mahmoud didn't make it this year because yeah, Mahmoud is my Eurovision crush, let's say. But when I heard that song, since that, then it has sticked with me, and yeah, I think Italy could have the potential to win.
Once again, if people in the Eurovision community disagree, they can still be friends. I don't. I like Italy, but I hope they don't win. But if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, ones that I think could win. I mean, I do really think the odds this year, I agree with them a lot. I think this year is really interesting though, compared to like a last year situation, because with last year we saw like Sweden and Finland and it was kind of like nothing else is really in this race. This year, I feel like it's much more open. I do think like Croatia, you know, Netherlands, Switzerland, potentially Italy, like there are like things in the running. Personally, I really do think this is like Switzerland's to lose because I think Switzerland has like a unique leg up in the sense that they have a really strong chance with the juries to do well and the televote. It's wacky. It's like all over the place. People, the public, I think will get behind it. And then by the same token too, like I think the lyrics are not, you know, cheap or tacky. I don't think the juries will kind of perceive it in that way. I think if anything, it's like kind of like it just has a really nice, expensive production. And even the lyrics are really high quality too, with a really strong message. So I think in that sense, it will do well with both, and that just might set it apart from the rest and make it be the winner. So that's my prediction.
I agree with both of you. I will say about Italy that for me personally is the one entry from the odds favorite, let's say, that she can easily do extremely well both in the juries and on the televote. Like I can see acts like Croatia, the Netherlands have huge differences between the televote and the juries. So I can see like a 2016 moment like with Jamala becoming second, third with televote like this, and surprisingly win the whole thing. And I would love to see like an extremely nervous jury televoting situation this year, like point to point, being everyone extremely close. It's going to be extremely excited about this because we don't have Sweden and Finland this year, like the battle between the Nordics. So let's hope for an amazing show. So let's continue with the entries that you think they will do better than people from the polls, like the odds are taking right now, like better than the people are thinking. Who's going to be the surprise of this year?
I'll say like I'm so shocked how low Malta is in the odds. I think Malta always doesn't get what it deserves from the televote. It's obviously like a country that's just it has no neighbors. It's an island nation, whatever. But I do think to be second last in the betting odds, this girl performed, I think, yesterday live, and I actually thought, is she lip singing? Like her voice has improved more than I can remember any singer's voice improving throughout the like Eurovision process from national selection to the live performances. Or pre-party performances. So I would say the dancing was also like mind-blowing. She changed the choreography too, which was great too. So yeah, Malta's definitely one. I think Norway's like not in the top 10. I think that's one of those situations where they'll do really well in I think at least in the televote. And I think maybe hopefully juries will get behind it too. And then Austria is a little bit lower than I would think too. So I think that could do better than expected as well.
I definitely agree, especially with Malta. Even though based on the odds, Malta would not be qualifying at the moment, I still think that there could be a little chance because of the vocals, because of I think she will be able to bring like amazing show opening. So that could stick to people's minds. So televoters could be loving it. Other than that, I'd say Cyprus, I think, is around 23rd at the odds at the moment. I think it could be the surprise. I could compare it last year to Planka solo moment. A lot of people didn't believe in that song, but then because of the show, it just has a similar vibe to me. It could do even better than the 23rd or whatever it is at the moment. Another one I have to mention could be surprise is Germany. I mean, at the moment, he's not getting that much of a media attention, and the national selection was a big surprise. Nobody was not expecting Isaac to win the national selection. So maybe that could be, again, somehow televoters and juries loving it and could do better. Also, I hope for Germany because they don't deserve to be at the bottom every year. But yeah, let's see.
I agree with all the options that you have. Of course, Cyprus, like I'm Greek, it's Cyprus, like it's the same. So I can definitely see this doing extremely well with the televote, especially. Like Blanca Paloma from Blanca Paloma. Oops. Nice. From Poland last year. And I have to say also Malta, I agree with you. And the next one is Luxembourg. Luxembourg, she's gonna qualify to the grand final. There's no way she's closing the semi. And I can see the juries love the comeback of Luxembourg. And there's no surprise for me if this ends up like top 10 with the juries and a little bit lower with the televote, I think. But let's see what will be the improvement of her live performance, because I love the song. I'm not a huge fan of the choreo and the stage presentation on the national final, but I hope that she will improve like the moves and vocally. And this can be easily a surprising top 10 with the Luxembourg this year. I have that feeling. I don't know if you agree, if you can see this like ended up on top 10.
I agree with the staging and stuff. I think that needs to be improved. But I feel like Tali as a performer and with the vocal capacity that she has, yeah, could be possible.
Yeah, I agree. I think she's super talented. I also like the revamp. I actually like all of the revamps this year. I think the revamps this year be elevated. So yeah, I could see it happening, and I definitely agree that like juries love a comeback, especially like 31 years is insane. And we saw that with Italy in 2011, where like I think they came first with the juries with like a very merp song, and at least in my view. So I think the juries could get behind this if it makes it to the final for sure.
And last topic for today, my favorite one. Do you have any guilty pleasure for 2024? A song that is your guilty pleasure, Annie?
Both of you were mentioning Netherlands earlier. I would say that is definitely the earworm, the song that I randomly start playing. It doesn't get to my top 5 maybe, but still at the same time, I'm just so looking forward hearing it live in Malmö and like partying to that song.
Yeah.
It's just so fun, and at the same time, when you understand the message of that song, it really touched me. It made me actually cry, which is crazy, that song, but I think the ending of it is really beautiful. Yeah, that's my guilty pleasure, definitely.
Yeah, that would definitely be one of mine too. I mean, it's such a good one. So I guess in an effort to, just be different, I'll say Finland. It's also one of those entries where it's just crazy. It caught my attention. It's got to be a guilty pleasure. It comes out in an egg, shooting fireworks from his groin. It's just so wacky, but it's so Eurovision. And I think it's also one of those things. I think a lot of people right now are focusing on like Croatia or the Netherlands as being these like outlandish acts. But I really feel like Finland when Eurovision comes along, will probably get just as much love, maybe if not more. I think sonically for me, it stands out a bit more from those other acts. So we'll see. But yeah, Finland would be mine.
I will shock you because my guilty pleasure is Albania. Albania is maybe the one revamp that at first I was like, no, why? Why in English? Why the last pop dance disco part? Like it came from nowhere. But even though it's not even on my top 10, like I don't love the song, but at the same time, I keep listening to the song and I can see myself like in the middle of the day, it's always on my mind. I don't know what's happening with me. Like it's one of the most streamed songs, top 5 on my Spotify right now. And I know that this would not do good in Eurovision. Like, no, but and also like Bessa. Like she seems friendly and she can deliver live. So let's see if the second spot on the second semifinal, which is a hard spot, let's admit that. So, but Armenia last year made it to the grand final. She broke the curse of the second spot of the second semifinal. And Greece is coming after on the third spot. So let's see what's going to happen. I thought about Greece before we come to an end. Like, Annie, you said that you love the song.
Yes.
What do you think about Greece this year? Like, do we making a comeback after last year disqualification and everything that's happened with Victor Vernikos?
I would be shocked if Greece doesn't qualify this year. I think the song is not everybody will understand it. It's not something, I don't even know how to explain. It's not an easy basic pop song that everybody gets.
Yes.
But my personal taste is I like interesting creative approaches when something that stands out in a way that hasn't been done so many times. So that's what I really love about Greece. I love the approach of yes, Greece's approach, or like seen as the touristic destination for Europeans. So I love the approach of that, of making it different in a way. Yeah, I think Marina is just, yeah, very interesting artist, and yeah, I just love her.
Sean?
I hate it. It's actually my last play. No, I'm kidding. Can you imagine? No. I actually really like it. It's definitely groovy. I agree that I'm a little nervous just in the fact that like it is a little avant-garde, kind of in the way that like, you know, like Telemoves was Conan Osiris. Like it's kind of not the most accessible song to the masses. But by the same token, I didn't like that, but I like this song like quite a bit. So it's accessible to me. I think hopefully enough people will get behind it. And I think the staging for me, just because of Greece's positioning in the semifinal, I think the staging might be like a make or break type of situation. But I think the other thing that I think actually works in its favor is it really stands out. There's nothing like this
Yes.
remote at Eurovision this year. So I think people who like this will vote for it, and they'll probably not vote for other things. Like it won't be on their radar. So I think my fingers are crossed. I like it enough for it to move on to the final for sure.
Guys, thank you so much for this one. Sean, I hope to meet you and have like every video that you want. And also, Annie, we're gonna meet in Malmö this year again after Liverpool last year. Thank you so much. Wish you the best. Thank you for this amazing conversation, and happy Eurovision season. It's officially on. We're close. Thank you so much. Kisses.
Thank you.
Take care.